Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mataji.
Let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Javdirayet. Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we're going to read couple of verses. So all of you will get a chance to read verse number 28. Okay, other verses I'll breeze through. Verse 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so you can keep your hand raised, but you will read verse 28. So we'll... Fifth canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 20, verse 24. So the verses which don't have purport, I will not read the synonyms. I'll read the verse and then the translation. And then we will pause at verse 28. Evam purushtat kshirodat parita upaveshitaha shakadvipo dva trimishal laksha yojanayanaha Samanena chadadhi manododena parito yasmin sako nama mahiruho ruha swakshetra vyapakshedako yasyaha mahasurabhi gandhastam dvipam anuvashayati. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Outside the ocean of milk is another island, Shakadvip, which has a width of 32 lakh yojans. So 2 crore 56 lakh miles. As Karuncha Dweep is surrounded by its own ocean of milk, Shaka Dweep is surrounded by an ocean of churned yogurt, as broad as the island itself. In Shaka Dweep, there is a big shaka tree from which the island takes its name. This tree is very fragrant. Indeed, it lends its scent to the entire island. Verse number 25. Krishna. तस्यापि प्रेयव्रता एवाधिपतिर्नाम्ना मेधातिथि सौ अपि विभाजया सप्तवर्षाणि पुत्रा नामानि तेषु स्व आत्मजान् पुरोजवा मनोजवा पवमान् धूम्रनिका चित्ररेफा बहुरूपा विश्वाधार संज्ञान निधा पाया अधिपतिं स्वयं भगवती अनंत अवेशता मतेस्तपोवनं प्रविवेश. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The master of this island, also one of the sons of Priyavrat, was known as Medhatithi. He also divided his island into 7 sections, named according to the names of his own sons, whom he made the kings of that island. The names of those sons are Purojav, Manojav, Pavaman, Dhumranika, Chitrarefa, Bahurupa, and Vishwadhara. After dividing the island and situating his sons as its rulers, Medhatithi personally retired, and to fix his mind completely upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he entered a forest suitable for meditation. Verse number 26. Etesham varsha maryada girayo nadyascha saptam sapteva ishan urushringo balabhadra satakesharaha sahasrashroto devapalo mahanash iti anagha ayurda ubhaya sprashtir aparajita panchapadi Sahasrashrutir Nijadhritir iti. For these lands also, there are 7 boundary mountains and 7 rivers. The mountains are Ishan, Urushringa, Balabhadra, Satakeshara, Sahasrashruta, Devapal, and Mahanash. The rivers are Anagha, Ayurda, Ubha, Yashprishti, Aparajita, Panchapadi, Sahasrashruti, and Nijadhriti. This is Shakhadweep. Okay, only thing we go to the next So, verse 27. Tadvarsha purusha ritavrata satyavrata danavrata anuvrata namano bhagavantam vai atma kam pranayam vidhuta rajas tamasaha parama samadhina yajante. Translation by Prabhupada, Sharvat ki Jai. The inhabitants of those islands are also divided into 4 castes: Ritavrat, Satyavrat, Danavrat, and Anuvrat, which exactly resemble Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. They practice pranayam and mystic yoga, and in trance, they worship the Supreme Lord in the form of Vayu. Antah pravishya bhutani so yo bhibharti atmaketubi antaryami ishvaraha sakshat pato no yadvashe sputam. Hey, Madhumai Krishna Kan Mataji, go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अन्तः प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्या आत्मकेतुभिः अन्तर्यामी ईश्वरः साक्षात् पातु नो यद्वशे स्फुटम्। थैंक यू माताजी।
Chitramohini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंत प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्यात्मकेतुभिः अंतर्यामीश्वरा साक्षात् पातु नो यद्देशा स्फुटम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू
Thank you.
माताजी।
Prakash Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणामालु। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंत प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्यात्मा हेतुभिः अंतर्यामीश्वरः साक्षात् ये पातु नो यद्वशे स्फुटम्।
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण।
Prema Nandini, Prana Nandini Madhavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंत प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभ्यर्त्य आत्मकेतुभिः अंतर्यामी ईश्वर साक्षात् पातु न यद्वशे स्फुटम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू माताजी।
Thank you. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंतः प्रविश्य भूतानि यो विभूति आत्मकेतुभिः अंतर्यामीश्वरः साक्षात् पातु नो यद्वशे स्फुटम्। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, thank you. Krishna. Revti Ratnangi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Revti Ratnangi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंतः प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्यात्मा केतुभिः अंतर्यामी ईश्वरः साक्षात् बाधूत यद्वशो स्फुटम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Pushpa Yashomati Mataji. Pushpa Yashomati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। नमस्कार माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंध प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्ति आत्मकेतुभिः अंतर्यामीश्वर साक्षात् पादुनो यत्वशेषुरम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Thank
थैंक यू
you, Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji. Vijay Kumari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंध प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्यात्मकेतुभिः अंतर ईश्वर साक्षात् पादुनो यत् वसे स्फुटम्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक
Thank
यू
you. Srinivas Dayamai Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंतः प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्ति आत्मकेतुभिः अंतर्यामी ईश्वरः साक्षात् पातु नो यद्वशे स्फुटम। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Mhm.
प्रणाम। अन्तः प्रविश्य भूतानि यो बिभर्त्यात्मकेतुभिः अन्तर्यामीश्वरः साक्षात् पातु नो यद्वशे स्फुटम्। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you. Anta Pravishya, entering within, Bhutani, all living entities, Yaha, who, Vibharti, maintains, Atma Ketubi, by the functions of the inner airs, Pran, Apan, etc., Antaryami, the super soul within, Ishvaraha, the supreme person, Sakshat, directly, Pato, please maintain, Naha, us, Yat Vashe, under whose control, Sputam, the cosmic manifestation. Translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. The inhabitants of Shakadweep worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vayu in the following words. O Supreme Person, situated as the Supersoul within the body, you direct the various actions of the different airs, such as Pran, and thus you maintain all living entities. O Lord, O Supersoul of everyone, O Controller of the cosmic manifestation, under whom everything exists, may you protect us from all dangers. Puppet by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. Through the mystic yoga practice called pranayam, the yogi controls the airs within the body to maintain the body in a healthy condition. In this way, the yogi comes to the point of trance and tries to see the super soul within the core of his heart. Pranayam is the means to attain samadhi, trance, in order to fully absorb oneself in seeing the Supreme Lord as Antaryami, the super soul within the core of the heart. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियै। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। The inhabitants of Shakadev worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vayu in the following words. O Supreme Person, situated as a super soul within the body, you direct the various actions of the different airs, such as Pran, and thus you maintain all living entities. You direct the various actions of different airs, such as Pran, and thus you maintain all living entities. O Lord, O Super Soul of everyone, O Controller of the cosmic manifestation, under whom everything exists, may you protect us from all dangers. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, which is called as the Creative Impetus, chapter 20. Do you still remember the name of the chapter?
Studying the structure of the universe.
Huh?
Studying the
the
structure of the universe.
Studying the structure of the universe. Yeah. Just trying to bring out some slides. Yes, okay. And then we are in studying the structure of the universe. This is what we have been studying. That in the middle is Jambudweep, which has 7 varshas, which is surrounded by ocean of salt. And then it is Plakshadweep, which is surrounded by sugarcane, ocean of sugarcane juice. And then outside of that is Kushadweep, surrounded by ghee, ocean of ghee. Then Karunchadweep, which is surrounded by ocean of yogurt. I missed something. Lakshadweep, surrounded by sugarcane juice, sea of sugarcane juice. And then around that is Shalmali Dweep, which is surrounded by ocean of liquor, wine. Kushadweep, which is surrounded by sea of ghee. Then Karuncha Dweep, surrounded by sea of yogurt. And now we studied about Shakha Dweep, which is surrounded by this the sea of. Did it say sea of milk or sea of? Shakha Dweep is surrounded by a sea of milk. Is that what it said here? What did it say?
It's yogurt only, Mataji, you told already.
Yeah, so
Prauncha Deep is milk, Mataji.
huh?
Kraunchadeep is milk actually, ocean of
Yeah,
milk.
so I think they have reversed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shakadweep is surrounded by yogurt and Karanchadweep is surrounded by milk. Yes, and then Krishna has made that. Now, there's sometimes we can say, why is there the ocean of liquor? We just don't know. We cannot understand everything in the creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I don't know what is the need for an ocean of liquor. So let me just double check. This is surrounded by. No, Shakadweep is surrounded by its ocean. Karanchadweep is surrounded by ocean of milk. Shakadweep is surrounded by ocean of churned yogurt. Okay, so this is wrong. So Shakadweep is surrounded by churned yogurt and Karanchadweep is surrounded by the ocean of milk. Okay, so and all the inhabitants, all the islands are ruled by one of the sons of Ritu Maharaj, who further divides the island into the ruling of their own children based on the eligibility of inheritance, and then at the end they themselves retire for taking complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when the sons or grandsons of Ritu Maharaj are ruling, they are ruling according to the rules and regulations, right? And so there's a division of Varna and Ashram. And there is one prominent form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is common for the whole of that island, which is worshipable. And in this Shakadweep, the prominent form is Vayu or Pran. And Krishna, and they're worshipping Pran because, and they're practicing pranayam, not so that they can get very healthy and enjoy sense gratification, but because they can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Antaryami, or one who is seated in the core of the heart of a living entity. Now, this particular prayer has many aspects to it. So, they are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vayu, and they are directing the movements of the air within the body to go in samadhi, which means that to actually meditate or become completely fixed on the Paramatma form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Krishna, their prayer is saying like this: you direct the various actions of different airs, such as pran, and thus you maintain all living entities. Can you draw a corollary where Krishna says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita? Raise your hand, please, if you want to answer. So I'm asking here, their inhabitants are praying that you direct the various actions of different airs, such as pran, and thus you maintain all living entities. Now, so where is Krishna saying this in Bhagavad Gita? You can raise your hand. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up one slide. So, where is Krishna saying that in Bhagavad Gita? Dhaneshi Mataji, I'm looking at the slide. So if anyone raises their hand, could you please ask them to unmute while I pull up the slide?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Yep. Where does Krishna say that in Bhagavad Gita? That he maintains the body by maintaining different kinds of air. Where does he say? Has no one raised their hand? No one has raised their hand?
No one has raised their hand, Mataji.
So, Krishna, okay, Kirti Mataji. Yeah, before I start sharing my screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Mataji, is it from the 15th chapter where it says, Prana Pana Samayuktaha Pachamyanam Chatur Vidham?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, don't ask, is it? It is.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so Krishna says in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deha Ashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachammi Annam Chaturvidham. I'm the fire of digestion in every living body. and I am the air of life, outgoing and incoming, by which I digest the 4 kinds of food stuff. So we need, yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, would you like to say something? Kashra, Prabhu.
Mataji, 5.47 Yoginam api sarvesham.
6.47.
Yoginam sarvesham.
Madgatena
Madgatena antaratmana. So that is whether it is aptly fit into this your point.
Okay,
I felt it's correct, I think.
Yes,
This
thank
also
you.
one thing. Madam has told another thing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Krishna is saying that I am the air of life, outgoing and incoming, by which I digest the 4 kinds of food stuff. So when in pranayam, the basic mechanism is, which I understand, I'm not expert, is that there is a reversal of the airflow. So outgoing becomes so then it becomes nullified. So outcoming air is reversed and incoming air is reversed, and that is how we can prolong the life. Like the life is the duration of life is not in years. The duration of life is decided by the number of breaths we have to take. That is why Prabhupada says one needs to follow the 4 regulatory principles, because if you're not following the 4 regulatory principles, we lose a lot of breath in the given amount of time, and that reduces our lifespan. Okay, that's the mechanism which is explained. Because it's not the number of, sorry, I stopped sharing. It's not the number of years, it is the number of breaths which are fixed. And if somebody can change the number of breaths by the practice of pranayam, the ayu can be prolonged. Also, there are different ways. So one way I said is that by not following the 4 regulatory principles, one loses the breath. Whenever somebody does sinful activity, Srila Prabhupada says this, then the number of breaths that one is taking increases. Okay, and in that duration, we lose more amount. And there's one more way when we lose our pran. Let's say a senior devotee comes in front of us, or sannyasi comes in front of us, and we don't get up to welcome that personality, but our prana will rise. So if we don't get up, we cannot catch up with our prana, so we're going to lose the lifespan. Basically, we lose the lifespan in so many subtle manners, and we don't even realize. So the inhabitants of Shakadweep seem to know this, that Krishna is directing the actions of different airs, and he's maintaining all the living entities. Now, O Lord, or Super Soul of everyone, O controller of the cosmic manifestation, under whom everything exists, may you protect us from all dangers. So when the prayer is that may you protect us from all dangers, it is not that protect our gross body. Yes, we need protection of the gross body so that we can focus on our spiritual body. Because if the gross body is in need of a lot of maintenance, then also it just becomes difficult to focus more on the needs of the spiritual body. We all can pay attention to this in our own life. Okay, pay attention to when the body is sick, when we're not feeling well. Okay, we have fever, headache, or whatever illness one is going through. How much energy and enthusiasm one has to chant Hare Krishna at the time. It becomes like a heavy chore, right? At this stage of bhakti where we are. That is why it is important to offer prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead for protection for that particular purpose, and not for the purpose of sense gratification. Because sense gratification is continuing in every gross body. There's no special need to just pray for increasing sense gratification in this body, because it's happening in every body. This body is special because if we can prolong our life in a healthy manner, then we can aim to accomplish more service. But if that's not the aim, then we don't have to live so long. Even Isopnishad mantra, there's one mantra which says that one can live for hundreds and millions of years if one can live to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, what is the use to live like for so long like a tree who lived thousands of years? In California, there are some redwood trees which are there for over 7,000 years. What is the use? There is no use if one is not able to become Krishna conscious. Okay. So, so I just want to emphasize these 2 points, that the inhabitants of Shakadweep are inclined to pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the process of pranayam, so that they can attain the samadhi and fully absorb themselves in Supreme Personality of Godhead as antaryami. It is also said that when one is going through a lot of stress, okay, it is in a lot of distress, and a lot is happening, and one can actually bring back the focus on one's breathing. Watch how you breathe and try to focus on that. Okay, and then try to control the breathing, because if the air in the body is not properly managed, then we cannot think properly. It is there true everywhere. In Ayurveda, it is said that 50% of the stomach you can have food, 1/4 is water, and another 1/4 is air. That's the best digestive ingredient. And also in Prabhupada mentions that a lot of mental health diseases happen, or even seizures, according to Ayurveda, happen because of the dysregulation of the air movement in the body. One loses, or the balance of thinking power, or the balance of the function of the brain at the gross level is disturbed by the movement of the air. And the movement of the air is directly proportional to what kind of life we are living in. Okay, now the good news is that when we are chanting Hare Krishna with attention, not like when we are doing 100 different things and also chanting Hare Krishna, but we are actually chanting and hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are actually regulating our air. It is ingrained because all the kind of yogic potencies are there in the combination of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra syllables. They are so arranged that there is everything going on, but we have to chant with utmost attention. If we are not chanting, if it is at the surface level, then it's not happening. Okay, so it's so important that Krishna is everywhere, and Krishna is trying to maintain our gross body, subtle body, spiritual body in every way possible, even with the air that goes in and maintains our life. And then the life air, when it leaves, so we call it as a life air. The soul is surrounded by the different kinds of air chakras in the body. So when the mind, I don't know the dynamics, but I've heard from senior devotees that the mind is actually situated in the heart, not in the head as we think. Even the material mind, because it is covering the soul, right? The subtle body. So the material subtle body, when it is covering mind, intelligence, false ego, then it is circulating in certain dynamics of the air. And when that life air leaves the body and takes the soul to another gross body, it's so important that how we are actually living. Okay, where is going from? I have heard from senior devotees that sometimes the life air leaves from the top of the head, which is like a very elevated soul, or leaves from the eyes, or leaves from the nose, or leaves from the rectum. Depending on where the life air passes out from, decides our next destination. So it is so subtly controlled that we don't even understand that how important it is to actually be fully aware of the Supreme Personality of Godhead at all times, even with every breath that we are taking. Okay. I think I'll stop here. There's nothing much that I had to say here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? And also, 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, as Prakash Prabhu was saying, when Krishna is explaining about Ashtanga Yoga, then pranayam is one of the important elements in that particular wheel of Ashtanga Yoga, or 8 limbs of yoga. But the goal is to have the samadhi. And if the goal is not reached, or if the goal is not set properly, forget about reaching, if it is not set properly and we're just doing pranayam for the sake of just feeling healthy, then we are actually not fully utilizing the potency of the practice. You know, there's so many diseases which get cured. I know a very elevated devotee in Vrindavan. And I sometimes take care of his health. So he has type 2 diabetes and he doesn't believe in allopathy. So he does Ayurveda. And I was following his hemoglobin A1C, and then the last hemoglobin A1C drastically dropped. And I said, how do you do it? Then he sent me different kind of pranayams, that how you actually regulate your life, your digestive power, your regulation, your everything by doing all those kind of things. I was like amazed that there are these things happening in our body at the subtle level, and we think that we can pop a pill in our mouth and we can be taken care of. Okay. Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections, complaints? Kirti, Mataji, Hey Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I had a question. So usually the sports stars, Mataji, athletes, they tend to run very fast and sometimes, so are they like, due to playing too much sports, are they reducing their lifespan, Mataji?
No, their resting heart rate is low because they're opening up too many collateral circulations in the heart. We are not utilizing all the blood supply in our body right now. Okay, we're not. Prem Prakash, Haidas Prabhu, how much do you know are we utilizing when we don't exercise? I don't know the number. Do you know?
Sorry, Mataji, could you come again?
How much of the circulation or circulation are we utilizing at rest when we don't exercise and don't open up the collaterals?
It's less than 25%. When the
Oh my God.
collaterals increase, the percentage goes as high as 75%.
Yeah,
Jumps
you
very
see, yeah.
quickly.
Wow. You see, we're at rest, if we don't exercise, then we are born with certain kind of blood supply to different organs of the body, right? At the physical level. But when we do proper exercises, we open up different blood vessels which remain dormant otherwise. Okay. And then it actually increases the blood supply to different organs. So they may be breathing hard, but their resting heart rate is low. Their resting heart rate is usually in 50s. Our resting heart rate, if you look at your smartwatch, will be like in 70s or 80s. So no, it's not. It
Okay,
works in
Mataji.
so many dynamics.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I don't know, Mataji, whether Mataji was asking about respiration. Because there is a common belief amongst all of us that the number of breaths are given is fixed. And so if you utilize in sports or any physical activities, you actually reduce the chance of longevity.
You actually reduce I thought it does. You do not, because the number of breaths is going to be related to the heart rate, right? If you're breathing heavy, then the heart rate will go up. Like for example, in anxiety. But in the event of the sports, even though the person is breathing hard, their heart rate is not going up so high because they have so much of the circulation open up. So the air is going through so many things. I'm not sure. This is an anecdotal understanding.
Yeah, science tells exactly reverse, but this is what our understanding in the Hindu religion.
Which is not correct, which is
I
not
don't know. I
incorrect.
don't know where it has come from. I don't know the
So
source.
Prabhupada say that I ask you to follow 4 regulatory principles, because if you don't follow the 4 regulatory principles, then you're going to lose the prana, or the number of breaths that you're born with, and then you're going to die soon. Your longevity, your number of your duration of years will reduce considerably because of the sinful activity, which is stated in Bhagavatam also. 12th canto Bhagavatam says that as the Kali Yuga will progress, the sinful activities will increase so much that even if somebody lives in their 20s, they'll be considered as great grandparents, which we cannot even imagine at this moment, but it will happen. Okay, but there's so many other intricacies integrated, that what happens if the number of breaths increase and the heart rate increases, and the heart has to pump and work harder and supply the blood to all the vital organs. But in case of sports, I don't think so. Unless and until we are doing sinful activity with the sports, then I don't know. Subject to further conversation. Okay. Any other question, reflection, realizations, correction? Okay, okay, I was gonna. Okay, Reena Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, like if yogis were doing pranayama, no Mataji. So the goal of doing pranayama, they say like to control the mind. So what is the relationship between controlling the mind and pranayama, Mataji?
Yeah, so I said that, right? That the soul is covered by the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. And the movement of the mind, intelligence, and ego is controlled by the life air. So if we are not able to control the life air, the mind will be very uncontrolled. Prabhupada mentions, he says, you can look up that the mental health disorders are a result of dysregulation of the air within the body. And so is the seizure disorder. Okay, so how do we treat that? We treat by regulating the air, the prana in the body. That's how it happens. I don't know the detail and the dynamics, but I know the foundational statement made by our acharyas. Even I was amazed that that's how it happens. I don't know where you are, Reena Mataji. Okay, here.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, if there's no other question, then we stop here.